So I'm gonna tell you guys about a story that I made up in my head. And a 4-year-old boy with a lot of stuff dancing around in my head. I couldn't sleep at night because I got knocked a lot across my head from my crazy ass mama trying to put me to bed. You banged my head across that concrete floor trying to put me to sleep and put me to bed. But this shit never worked. I just laid there sometimes and pretend like I was dead. But I wasn't. I was just sitting there thinking, making up stories and rhymes and rhythms all in my head, making a secret language and stories that was dancing around in my head. Now maybe all the bumps and bruises had me thinking craziness and blueses. But one of them stories I was thinking and made up in my head when I was a 4-year-old boy, just laying in my bed. It was in my rhyme and rhythm speak. That's way it was speaking in my head, but I remember everything from way back when that was dancing around in my head. Now this one story that I was thinking about, dancing around in my head, it's about the love of my life I was gonna meet one day. And right now, she's laying in my bed. Whew! I was 4 years old when I knew the name of my wife to be. It's gonna be Jessica Marie. Maybe it's all the bumps and bruises. It made me blueses. But I knew who I was meant to be with. That might sound crazy. It might sound, my rhythm and rhymes a little bit messed up right now. But I'm going to get it right. Because I just found the key. And I found it a couple of nights. That's another story for another night. But let's get back to this one story. So when I met my wife, I was 6 years old. And she was just a baby in her mother's belly, walking down the street. Where her mom was walking down the street and she was pregnant. 2240 South Central Park. And in my head, and in my story, when I was 6 years old, laying in my bed, I walked up to this lady and said, "Excuse me, miss." And she said, "Hold on, what's wrong with your head?" I said, "Nothing, ma'am." But I just couldn't help it. I saw you pregnant, and I want to guess her baby gender. And I can't rhyme my stuff right now, but I'm going to get it tight. So I held her belly to see if I can guess it right. She was having a girl and think she was just a little fright. She thought it was going to be a boy. And she was thinking about that one night. What should she name him? And Keefe sounded all right. But she didn't have a boy. It was a girl she had. And I actually helped name her when I had my hand touching on her belly. And she was a baby on her head. Jessica Marie, I was thinking in my head, that should be your name. And I'm going to make sure it's dancing in your mama's head. I knew my queen to be at 4 years old when I was dreaming the stories in my head. I didn't know what she was going to look like, but I had fantasies, and they all was dead. I knew I was going to meet my wife walking down the street one day, because it was dancing in my head. When she got older, at more of adult ages, and not kids trying to lay in the bed. I was driving down the street, and saw my wife walking, because I had her name dancing in my head. I said, Jessica Marie, because I think we meant to be. But I kept it in my head. She turned around and smiled at me, and I fell in love. And I've been that way every day. She came to my car and greeted me with the biggest smile you ever see. She was scared to see me because I had the smell in the car that I didn't know about at the time. Sounding kind of crazy right now, my rhyme is messing up. Sorry about that. But it was the first time we met as adults. It was my Jessica Marie, my Gaia, my queen, my only one that was meant to be. And just my quick story about how I met my queen to be. Might all sound messed up now, but it's not messed up to me. We've been together 18 years now. 3 kids, a dog, and a turtle, and the turtle named Squirtle. They really, you must meet. The kids are all geniuses and ready for and going to school and trying to be what they're going to be. Kenny and Squirtle too are amazing pets, because we all were meant to be. My Gaia, my queen, my kids, my pets, we all were meant to be. We all were meant to change one world, and all just not no silliness coming from me. My rhyming rhythm's not sounding right now, because it's not tight yet, but it will one day, and y'all will see. To me and my family, my pets, the turtle, and Kenny, we all were meant to be. James, Jessica Marie, Kenny, Squirtle, Cortez, Marianne, and Camirius. We all gonna change the world one day, because we were all meant to be. We might be fussing and fighting, family, but that's okay. We're still tight, as one fist need to be. We're not individual family, because that's the shit the devil needs you to be. We are balled up fists as a family. We're going to stay this way to knock out the devil, so we could be the family we was meant to be.